Friday, Extend the Drive, Best Ball Live. A little impromptu stream here to keep the dream alive. Still rolling out the Eliminators. Was hoping that Underdog would have something new out today. Not ready to do the Greyhound yet. Steve, what is it going on, man? Good to see you in there. Appreciate you stopping by and throwing into the chat. Welcome. It's Friday. It's episode 18. Extend the Drive, Best Ball Live. Sean Mitchell. I am your host at smitchell17. Going to try to first put on some music. It's a Friday. We're feeling froggy. Little night drive, and then we're gonna draft. Let's draft. Let's get in the elim. Shoot it out. We'll try for a 30-second first. 30-second elim. Wait, oh boy, waiting on 11. I'm going to see if we get in a 20. See if it's filling faster. Don't really want to wait on an 11 spot. We got 6. Waiting on 6. Let's shoot out a tweet. Try to get an elim going. Hopefully everybody's having a great Friday. Didn't really expect or intend to stream today, but kiddos went to the grandparents' house, and the wife is working away. I got off work and had nothing better to do. So why not chase the dream? Why not do it on stream at that? What do you know? So let's see if anybody of the good friends on the Twitter universe wants to join the elim. Let's see about it. Waiting on 6. Waiting on 4. Looks like maybe a couple might have got in. Let's draft. It is an elim. I was going to do the Greyhound today, and I just felt like I would probably want to draft more, and I didn't really feel like putting on any more money. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do some elims. And then I was like, you know what? Let's stream it. Hopefully you guys are having a good Friday. If you are, let me know. If you're in the draft, let me know too. Let's see here. Get a little bump music going with the Feed the Ducks. Waiting on 2. Thought about jumping in super flexes, but that would be totally against my religion. Seeing as how I've not done any super flex yet in Puppy, and I don't intend to. Mainly because I would much rather wait. And honestly, I just think the Eliminator is a lot more fun of a format in a drafting strategy than Superflex. For me, just like Superflex, it just kind of bores me. I would much rather try to draft an elim. I think the sweat will be a lot more fun. The drafts are a lot more fun. The strategy is a lot more fun. Waiting on 1. Somebody get in here. Somebody get on in. Let's draft. Little side note. This probably is going to be my last stream for about a week. Maybe less. Got to do a work trip for the day gig next week. I will be gone pretty much Monday through Friday. Be in Nashville. So that sounds fun. Nice little summer event for the work group. Oh, we're waiting. We are in. Let's see who's in. Anybody in here? Anybody getting this elim? Sharkley, I see. Don't really see anybody else off the bat. Sherlock, nope. MVS, nope. I've drafted a lot of these folks, but I don't recognize any names off the bat. If you're in there, let me know. Are you in the draft? If you're watching the stream, if you're in the draft, let me know. If you're in there, throw a like, throw a sub. Be much appreciated. I guess I need to come up with some kind of sub goal. I got to throw something out there. Like I know I said that I put out a tweet. It's been probably a couple weeks ago. I said my first milestone would be 250 subs, and I would do whatever the first comment was. I had some pretty cool ideas that were thrown out, but I think probably gonna have to get a little bit more creative or get a little bit more monetary. Maybe throw a dollar amount there. Might have to do a giveaway to get it rolling. Done pretty good. I mean, we're on 110 subs right now. Again, I've only been doing this for roughly about a month. I literally started. Well, I think I started streaming right about a month ago. So yeah, 110 subs. Pretty proud of that. It's been fun. I've been enjoying the streams. Been enjoying engaging with the community. Had a really fun night last night in the streets. I drafted my very last pug. Had about 6 or 7 folks from the Twitterverse in there. It was fun. It was good. It was a good contest. Had a little banter in there with some of the folks in there. We drew the 11 hole here. Jamar Chase still goes 1. Saquon is still there at 5. Is really interesting with this eliminator format. I did not expect him to be there still at 5. That is essentially a steal. Saquon, CD, Lamb, Hookah. Looks like I might have a shot at possibly getting one of these 3 running backs. That's still possibly not. We will see. I think Derrick Henry is a really strong. Obviously, I still think Derrick Henry is a really strong candidate in this format, being the eliminator, where you're chasing those early points. Derrick Henry obviously is a very solid running back for this format. I will start Derrick Henry, and we will be picking again at 14. I kind of like a Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry start here. Go ahead and start just 2 RB1s, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. I think that's a solid start. I don't really mind falling behind a little bit on wide receiver because running backs typically go really early in this format. So I don't mind that a single bit. Again, I kind of want to have early points. Jonathan Taylor, especially now that the shakiness around Anthony Richardson, we could have Daniel Jones starting the season. Yeah, I figured, Steve, you'd probably like to start, seeing as how it's seemingly close to how we started yesterday on the stream. Shout out Steve over at Fanspeak. Always doing good stuff over there. Had him on the show last night. Would highly advise checking that out. It was a very good show. A lot of strategy talk. We talked through a lot of different player takes. It's really good. I'm pretty sure Steve said he was about to be putting out an article on the Eliminator. He's already got his ranks up at Fanspeak, so I would highly recommend checking that out. Very sharp dude. A lot of sharp people over at Fanspeak. But we're at the turn. There went Jacobs, Bucky, Kyron, the whole onslaught of running backs that usually go in that. Well, typically go in the 3rd round, but as we know it, running backs get pushed up immensely in this format. So everything essentially gets pushed up a round or 2, especially running backs. A loss, we will see. We'll probably be looking at. There's some good wide receivers in this little range here. I'm sure Tyreek's going to go pretty soon. All the elite quarterbacks are going first. Garrett Wilson went 27. Rashee Rice at 26. Let's see here. JSN goes at 30. Brees, running back, continue to get pulled up. Brees is typically going 10 spots later in your traditional best ball. Let's see here. Looks like Nick Bocklage is about to start streaming. You guys go check out Nick. Looks like Tyreek, Terry, McLaurin. We could potentially, which we could do a skinny stack if we possibly could do Terry, Jaden. Don't mind that in this format. Obviously, I don't think Terry McLaurin is worried about not signing. Do I want Tyreek? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. I like his bye week. I don't have a lot of Tyreek in traditional best ball, but I think in this format, he could help me early on if he stays healthy. Let's see here. Terry is the same bye week. I'm gonna likely go with Mike Evans here, as I feel like Evans with Godwin, not surely how healthy he's going to be to start the year. Obviously, Mike Evans should be the number one target for Baker Mayfield. So started at 0-2-2-0 here. Derrick Henry, Taylor, Tyreek, and Mike Evans. A few olds, but a few goods. So consistent veterans here. Don't mind it a bit. Let's go to the board. Let's see if anybody's doing anything crazy. Had a really fun draft last night where Fantasy Football Garage was streaming. Candyman Chris, shout out Candyman. Jumped on, got into one of his draft rooms. It was a really fun draft, and we had a good time. I really like the way my team came out. I think I've only done like maybe 11 eliminators. I think this might be number 12. Might be number 13. I don't know. I have been trying to get a little bit more volume into it. I'd like to get a decent number in early and try to get some of the early value before we start getting heavy camp news. We're in OTAs already. Already lots of news starting to roll out. People are starting to react to a lot of the news. I think that is very important in this game, especially in best ball, especially in traditional best ball, like BBM, pups, all that stuff. Paying attention to the news cycles, applying that to players and their ADPs, and obviously, if you think guys are going too high or too low, you should be hammering those guys or not, vice versa. But I do think that's one edge that you can really have. That it's a micro edge, I would say, but it is an edge in best ball. If you stay current on the news, you're already ahead of probably 90% of the players that play best ball. So there's a lot of times just by which, luckily for me, I work from home, so I do get to view the social media quite often. I do stay on top of the news. I follow a lot of beat writers. What's up, Tom? Good to see you, man. Follow a lot of beat writers. I try to stay in the know, and obviously, it's important stuff to know. See injury news early. You could react to that in drafts where you might not, other people, other drafters might not get to it as quick. We are almost on the clock. Travis Hunter has been falling in all of these. Got Jalen Waddle. I'm not double stacking. Monty I've kind of got a good base here. I kind of like Juwan Jennings. And I think I'm going to pull up Juwan with the Week 14 bye and also give me those early points. I like Juwan for the same, a lot of the same reasons I like, George Kittle. Let's see. I could tack on Tony Pollard here, or I could just take Travis Hunter since I've got all later buys. I think I'm leaning more towards taking Travis Hunter since I've already got Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. So 0-2-4-0. We just picked at 62. Big Dog, JT, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Travis Hunter. I like the start. I really do. I think it's a really interesting start. Looks like the turn here has gone 3 out of 4 being a running back. Running backs go quick. They typically go quick in this format. So I hope I don't fall too far behind. But there are a lot of the mid running backs, Koffs, Scatterboo, that I like. So I think I'll definitely have a chance to catch back up, which probably only going to go 5 running backs, just going off of where I started and how I started here. Tough Cat. Happy Friday. Extend the Drive. Impromptu episode number 18. Chasing 200K in the Eliminator. Plan to do one, maybe two, if I can get another one filled and still want to draft another one after we get done with this. I have gone 4 consecutive wide receivers after starting out 2 running back, which I think is kind of a strong power play, if you want to say, especially if you start out with 2 stud early down, every down running backs like Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. I don't mind pulling back and going full out wide receiver, or if you get lucky and land a elite quarterback in those 3 or 4 picks after, I think that's totally fine too. But not going to push it, not going to reach for it. Totally am fine with this start. Let's see. Is anybody else that's really gotten RJ Harvey at 53 is interesting. I still have yet to see anything on the Dobbins visit to Denver. Has anybody heard anything? I know he was supposed to visit yesterday. I have not seen anything else about it since then. Pretty interested to see how that went and to see if where they're leaning on that. Been a lot of discourse on Twitter about that over the last couple of days. A lot of people are very opinionated on what they think and how they feel about RJ Harvey, about how Sean Payton, perceives RJ Harvey, and about how they perceive Estime and Jaleel McLaughlin, maybe more so than RJ Harvey. I got a feeling that it was never going to be a straight up. I like Jalen Warren. I hate that he had, which I'm totally fine because I've got two stud running backs. I think I'm going to take Jalen Warren here. He's going to get touches. He's got upside. And then I've also got Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor to take over for his bye week. So I'm totally fine with that, with the bye week of 5. I should probably go wide receiver here. Got a lot of 5s in there, but I've also got all of my other wide receivers are all late wide receivers. Typically, I would go Jaden Reed here, but I think I'm going to go Mooney. Taking a couple 5-week buys. Honestly, I don't mind it, though, because I started out with later buys, so completely fine. It's not like I'm totally against doing week 5 buys. It's just more that you don't want to have too many. Obviously, if you make it to week 5, you want to have as many bodies on the field that you can get. I think that's what Steve mentioned last night or yesterday on the stream, was that I think it starts the payouts starting either week 3 or week 4. So you would just literally start hitting the pay scale. So if you made it to week 5 and you've got 5 guys from week 5 on your team, that would be really tough. So I don't really want to stack up too many week 5s. Would much rather even them out. Really, you don't really typically want to have stacked up buys unless it's like 14 or 15. 14, I would say. 14 being the last bye week you can have. 13, 12, 13, 14. Don't really mind having those because already if you make it that late, you're probably well into the money. And I hate to say it, but with as much variance as this contest is going to have, it's probably not going to matter too much. You're going to run into a lot of dead teams already as is. So not a big deal. But it is good to have separate bye weeks. Good to monitor them and pay attention to them, especially in this format, where it is essentially a head-to-head after week 1, 6-12 advancing in week 1, and then you essentially go 1-2 all the way up until the playoff weeks, 14, 15. 15, 16, 17 would be your playoff weeks. If you get there, you're doing really good. That would absolutely be the ultimate sweat, and that's what we're playing for here. A shot at 200,000 doll hairs. Appreciate you joining me. Throw something in the chat. Chat it up. Hopefully you've thrown a like. If you have not, throw us up. I'm going to try to start streaming quite a bit more, having a lot more guests. I've got quite I've got quite a bit of a line of a guest list right now, and I'm working my way down, trying to do 2 or 3 shows a week. I've already had numerous excellent guests so far. All of them have been excellent. I've had Neil Orfield, I've had Nick Buckledge, I've had Meg, I've had Steve. I had Loaf on as my first guest. I had Tyler, Emo Cowboy on. Yeah, and I've still got at least a good 8 to 12 folks that have already agreed to coming on that will be coming on within the next probably month as we get even closer into hot best ball summer. So lots to come for Extend the Drive channel. Very, very excited about it. We have a lot of drafting to do left, and we're just getting started. So really drafting the ELM because I just don't really – there's not really anything else in the lobby that I want to draft right now. I'm not doing Superflex. I'm saving my Greyhound. I did my final pug last night, so I've maxed the pug. I maxed the Schnauzer earlier, all those fun small ones we had. I got 61 in the first puppy. Coming up on our pick, I think I like Caleb. I think I'm going to take Caleb. I like his rushing ability. And obviously I like Ben Johnson a lot, and I hope that this offense is going to come out. I know that has perceivably been the historical thing with new OCs and new head coaches is that they start off slow. And in general, talk about Ben Johnson. However, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to think that they come out firing. I like Jaden Higgins. Let's do it. Let's go Ramondre. Another early season touch guy I feel like is going to get a lot of the early work right off the bat. And that really almost solidifies my room. Plus, it's a week 14. That really kind of gave me what I wanted right there. Gives me another one that I'll have in that week 5 bye week for Jaylen Warren. So really like that. Setting right at now at a 145. Caleb Williams took him at the 107. 4 running backs with Derrick Henry, JT, Jaylen Warren, Ramondre, and then wide receivers Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Travis Hunter, and Darnell Mooney. Really good looking squad right now. Pretty pleased with it, the way it's going. Let's see. Is anybody really – okay, we got Josh Allen, Patrick Holmes, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Hurts, Lone, Joe Burrow, Lone, Kyler, Brock Purdy double tack here with the Wildcat. The Bobble Man. What's going on, man? Glad to see you in here. Appreciate you stopping in. Do you like Tajay Spears or Jadon Blue more in standard best ball? I like Tajay Spears. I like Tajay Spears a lot more because, for one, I don't even know where Jadon Blue is on the pecking order in Dallas right now. With that said, he could easily still be the third back going into camp and going into the season. They signed, they brought on Javonte, they brought on Miles Sanders. Then they drafted, Jadon Blue. Jadon Blue really had an issue fumbling in college. So, I mean, I think best case is Jadon Blue is trying to play for like a third down row because right now it's pretty solidified from what I've seen. And I know that's hard to say, in June. But it looks like Javonte is definitely going to be the early down back. So I think it's going to be Miles Sanders and Tajay Spears that are essentially playing for more of a spell type role and third down role in Dallas. So Tajay Spears for me is easily the running back 2 behind TP, and Tajay Spears I think I have like 23% of. So for me it's going to be Tajay Spears. But yeah, good question. Appreciate the question. If you got any more, shoot them. Be more than happy to help. Coming back up at 131. Herbert's here. Lawrence probably need to possibly tack on, which these buys I don't love, especially since I've already got a week 5 buy with Caleb, and I talked about not wanting to stack up week 5 buys already. So I'm definitely going to try to not take another quarterback around week 5, which Trevor Lawrence at week 8, he goes. Definitely not stacking up Burden and taking another one there. I do like Njoku. I think he's going to be a heavily targeted player for the Browns early on, and I really hope that Joe Flacco is that quarterback that is going to be thrown to him because he can really unlock a guy like Njoku, Jerry Jeudy. I didn't have a tight end yet, so I really like getting Njoku there. Oh boy, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna push again, and I think I'm gonna take Hollywood Brown here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take Tyler Warren, and I'm just gonna solidify up my tight end room and be done with tight end. Thanks for God. That's where I'm at too. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't have a lot of Jadon Blue. He shot up the board after he was drafted by Dallas. I'm not saying that he can't compete for the role, but just looking at the money and the capital, it's for me. It's Javonte seems to be seemingly locked in at the one. So yeah, I would much rather not take any chances on that right now. I think there's a lot better backs going in that range too, with not more. Well, I would say more defined roles. He is one that is kind of like Tootin, where seemingly has two guys in front of them, and they shot up the board after various, whatever, Tootin, it was the 40 time, and then, Jadon Blue, it was the getting drafted by the Cowboys, who really don't have a strong running back room. But anyway, that's kind of where my thoughts are on that. After we picked last, I have a 1-4-5-2, Caleb, Big Dog, JT, Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Travis Hunter, and Darnell Mooney. And then solidified out my tight end room with Njoku and Tyler Warren. If Daniel Jones starts for Indy, Tyler Warren's stock immediately goes up. Immediately goes up. And I'm going to be probably decently mad because my Tyler Warren bags are not packed right now. But hopefully, I have taken him some in the elim because honestly, I think he's going to be utilized. Whether it's AR or it's Daniel Jones, I don't think it matters too awful much. I just know that offense could easily be absolutely terrible too. But he happens to come out being, getting 6, 7, 8 targets a game right off the bat. Scores a touchdown. He could really, really boost your lineup. Could possibly even hit your flex. And that's why I wanted to just go ahead and grab him after Njoku. Pretty much be done at tight end. I think if you add two guys like this, I'm totally fine stopping there at 2 tight end. There is always the chance that you get a big faller at tight end and go 3. It'll really be more of, like my running back room I'm totally fine with here. I think I could tack on one more and essentially be done at running back. Wide receiver, I'm going to probably have to take another look at. Obviously, I probably need 2 more quarterbacks here easily. Definitely going to look to go 3 quarterbacks. Got Cam Ward here at 10 if he is still here. Probably who I'll be looking at. I don't mind Geno either. Either one would work. There goes Cam. Of course, I wanted Cam for the later bye week, but I like Geno too, as long as he doesn't get taken here, which he might. We'll see. Kincaid, good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a Geno, get my second quarterback. Now I'm likely going to be looking at I don't know if I want to. I think I need to take a wide receiver here. I feel like I need to take a wide receiver. I like Jack Besh, especially because I just got Geno in the event that they start building a Rappaport early. I think I'm fine taking Jack Besh here. Got a little stack. What's up, Anthony? Best Ball on Call. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, man. Y'all check him out. Best Ball on Call. He's got the YouTube channel as well. Go sub. Give him a like. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Friday. 2462. Let's go to the board, see what everybody else is kind of doing. We are in round 14 at the moment. Doing it Eliminator, chasing the $200,000. Chasing the sweat. Chasing the sweat. This is kind of a fun contest because it is going to be an elite sweat. Like there's going to be, it's going to be the sweatiest of the sweatiest, especially when you get to those head-to-head weeks, and you've got especially week 5 when you start hitting bye weeks, and then not only injuries, but you've got bye weeks in there, and you're maybe only fielding a roster of 6 players where you've got 18. It's going to be interesting, man. I was talking to Steve Shop about this yesterday on the stream. I guess last year it didn't get to being basically a heads up until he said week 8 or 10 or something like that. So this format, I feel like you have a much better chance. I say you have a much better chance because you're not really, he said that it was kind of chopped up, like it would go into an 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 and then 6 of 8 or something like that. I forgot exactly his words on that of how the structure was last. I didn't play this. I did not play this format last year. I was worried about everything else. They kind of dropped this one earlier this year. I feel like pretty sure they dropped this a lot later in the best ball or the drafting season. And honestly, at that time, they had other contests out that I was just hammering away at, and I didn't even want to try this one. But seeing as how the lobby is dry for me, it allowed me to start doing a little bit of research on this guy. Started crowdsourcing for some strategy. Now I've done a couple shows on it. Did 2 shows this week. Nick Bocklage on Tuesday, Steve yesterday. Check those out if you're into the Eliminator streets. Like I said, lots of good stuff on those strategy-wise, talking about players that we like for this format especially. So, yeah, check those out if you get a chance and you're playing the Eliminator. Good stuff to know, good stuff to have. Who do I want to take the following AR? I've got Jonathan Taylor. If he does come out and start, technically, if he could give me good usable weeks here and be live still in 5 and 8, I think I kind of got to take the fall here. All the reports are saying that he should be good to go for camp. It's still full-blown competition. I got Tyler Warren. Didn't really mean to stack it up that much, but I don't really mind it with it being week 11. So completely fine there. Could use a running back, but I don't know if I want to go here yet. I think I'm just going to take Keenan Allen as a late flyer because he's going to sign somewhere. I don't know where. Keenan Allen is absolutely going to sign. Let's see, 11, 5, 16. So we're 16. We've got 2 picks left, right? Yeah. We have 2 picks left at 203, 206. I believe I can get a running back, maybe 2. I might get tack on 2 running backs here and just close it out with a 2-6-7 or 3-6-7-2. I think that might be okay. I'm essentially done at quarterback. Well, I am done at quarterback. I don't think I'm going to be taking anybody else here. I mean, I could potentially take like a Jackson Dart and do a 4 quarterback. I don't really know. I'm going to kick it around. Because technically I've got, which, I mean, honestly, right now I feel like it might be okay to take the 4 with just how much I kind of got boxed out at quarterback already, and I'm kind of okay, and I'm pleased with the rest of my positionals. Run it down real quick. 3-4-7-2. Caleb, Geno Smith, Anthony Richardson. Running backs are Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson. Wide receivers are Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Travis Hunter, Darnell Mooney, Jack Bash, Keenan Allen. I mean, and Njoku and Tyler Warren at tight end. Like, yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm pretty balanced everywhere else, and I don't really mind. I might do that. I might take another running back, preferably one that doesn't match any of my buys, and essentially would love to be later than any of them. Kind of going off SMA now, considering what we know with Dobbins visiting, gets me off Audric SMA a little bit more. But trying to think, I don't really want to go Ollie Gordon. Crosby Merritt's interesting because he kind of fits, and he could. I don't know. They really like B-Rob too, though. I mean, Jerome Ford is going to play. You know, he's been around 18 target for me in traditional best ball. I think Jerome Ford is interesting here because he doesn't match any of my buys, and honestly, I do think he's going to have a role to start the season. I think he's going to be the third back row. So I'm going to take Jerome Ford and round out the running back room. I think I like that. And then, I'm gonna go 4 quarterback. Something I typically don't do, but I feel like this team kind of warrants it a little bit. And if Jackson Dart is, for whatever reason, starting by, say, week 7 or 8, he'll be there starting when Geno goes on by and when AR goes on by. And it's kind of me betting on Dart starting, which I have him projected probably by week 7. The Giants' schedule is very tough. There's like 6 games. There is more than an outside possibility that they are 1-6, 0-6 to start the season, and Jackson Dart could come in earlier than we expect. So that was our last pick. I did go 4-5-7-2. It's definitely a different build. It's definitely going to be unique. I don't mind it. Quarterbacks are Caleb Williams, Geno, AR, Jackson Dart. Running backs are Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, and Jerome Ford. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings, Travis Hunter, Darnell Mooney, Jack Besh, and Keenan Allen. And then tight ends ended with David Njoku and Tyler Warren. I think it's a solid team. Drop what you think. Tell me what you think in the chat. Give me a grade. What do you think? Like it, love it, hate it. It's not my best, not my worst. I am going to go ahead and jump out because I am going to jump in another one. Let me put out a tweet and tell everybody that I'm about to hop into another 20-second. If you are in the chat and you want to get in, get in. I will count it down after I send this tweet. Appreciate you stopping in. Drew says I'm a Tyreek hater, so I have a duty to say I don't love it. It's funny, Drew, and let me get in this elim, and I'm going to tell you about a little fun story I have for today. 22nd elim, 3, 2, 1, and we're in. Waiting on 3. So I'm a Tyreek hater as well. I've actually had a pretty fun discourse conversation in chat today about Tyreek Hill. I commented on a post today from Jared Smola of Draft Sharks. He posted about a 5 or 6 player window of the screen of a list and said, I don't know how I can take any of these guys over Tyreek Hill. And I commented under his and I said, I don't see how I could not take any of these guys over Tyreek Hill. And it's sitting on about 150 likes right now. It's going kind of nutty for a tweet, so it's or for a comment. But no, I have a 1.6% Tyreek Hill out of 187 pre-draft teams, and I think I have about 6% post-draft. So I'm definitely not on Tyreek. CBK, good morning, good morning. I see you in the elim. Good, glad you got to come in, man. Anybody? Oh, Dave's in here too. Got some of the boys in this one, so that's fun. Good deal. Pull the 1-3. Is anybody else in here? Is anybody else in the chat? Make it into the draft. Once again, happy Friday. Cheers. Cheers to you all. Episode 18, Extend the Drive, Best Ball Live. Chasing the 200K in the Eliminator. Give me Saquon. I like kitties. Never mind. I'll take Bijan. That'll work. I think this is my first Bijan. Well, no. I think I don't know if me and Nick took Bijan. Fancy seeing you here, Mr. Dave. I don't know if we took Bijan on Tuesday or not. I'd have to look back. I'm not. This might be my first Bijan share in the Eliminator, which I hated that he has a week 5 bye, but we'll see. I think that's really the only knock that you might possibly have for Bijan in this format, especially where he goes, is that he's got a week 5 bye, and he's going to be, right as you're starting to get into the money, he's going to be going on bye. So it's kind of tough, a little tough. Milt, my man, Milt in the chat. Good to see you, Milton. Glad you joined up, brother. CBK, Dave and I are malting right now, so enjoy the EV. Good. I appreciate it. Milt in the house. I heard Milt's all about the rookies this year. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Glad you got to pop in. Glad you got in the draft. A couple of the regs got Dave, who just picked JT there. I'm sure CBK is probably going to go CMC. So, yeah, he did. He did at 5. Damn it. What's up, Bill? Drew, is there a graph or a tweet somewhere that explains which weeks you start to hit the money for Elim? Saw one somewhere but forgot where it is. I know Steve was on yesterday, Steve Shop, and he said week 4. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure some of the regs in this chat and that are in this draft, CBK, Dave, where do the payouts start? Is it week 4 or week 5? Milt says no early rookies. Oh, man, come on. I thought you loved them early rookies. Week 4 is the min cash. So starts at week 4, min cash, and then obviously week 5, and it goes up, builds up from there. God. I guess I'm going to take Chase Brown here. Get that. I need somebody for Bijan, and he's there. So, yeah, week 4. Week 4 starts the cash line, min cash week 4. That has been a strategy topic that I have brought up on the last 2 streams is, like playing to get out of weeks 1, 2, 3. Like just stacking those purposely so you get players in just weeks 1, 2, and 3. That way you can potentially advance. Obviously, it's hard to do a cash game. After week 1, it's a 6-12. 6-12 in week 1. Dave took CMC at 5 right before me in the other ones. I had to pay him back. Y'all are silly. Let's see here. About to be back on the clock. I like Kitties. Rasheed Rice. I'm going to take McBride. I like McBride. Honestly, I do kind of like going elite tight end here. I probably should have waited and tried to take Kittle instead with the week 14, but McBride should be early and often enough for me that if we get to week 8, we'll see. But I'm okay with it. Let's change the music up a little bit. We'll do some Not Driving. This is a fun chill tune. A fun one. What are y'all doing on this Friday other than drafting, being degenerates? Anybody got any big plans? Anybody doing anything fun this weekend? I know CBK is a huge Dave. I don't know your stance. Milton either. I know CBK is a huge Tyreek truther. I know Drew was. Oh no, this was it was earlier. He said he was a Tyreek hater. So we had to unite on that. So, but I know CBK is a big truther for Tyreek. I'm sure Dave. I think Dave probably taking him too. Milton, what's your exposure on Tyreek? You're still in here. Four picks away. Points truther. You hope. You hope. That's for sure. You sure hope so, CBK. Got Jalen Hurts falling here. I like Cortland Sutton. I like that week 12 bye on Cortland Sutton to start at wide receiver. I think I'm going to shy away from DJ Moore with the early bye. I want it, especially since I've already got Bijan going to be out. I don't really need. Dave says 6 pre-draft, 9 post for Reek. Okay, that's fair. You're around market. You are around market on there. Y'all going to give me Jalen Hurts, really? Yeah, I'm gonna take him. I don't mind if I do. If you do not want Jalen Hurts, I will take him. I'm usually not really into going elite quarterback this early, but you're going to give him to me right there, then I'm going to take him. Do not mind it. Looks like Lynx tried to get in with us, and I think he missed. We were waiting on 3 when I entered it, so he probably just missed the cutoff. Who do I want here? Could go Devonta with Jalen. Go ahead and pair that up. I don't mind that little mini. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Which I also really do like JMO here. I'm gonna go JMO, especially with the Monra news. AQ, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Now it's time to take 7 straight wide receivers. Yeah, that's we're getting there. I was gonna take Devonta, and I was like, I don't know. I'd really probably rather grab J-Mo. He's getting a lot of praise already in OTAs. Standout camper already. I think he's going to have a big year. So we'll definitely take him first. 1, 2, 1, 1. Let's see. We're 15 picks away. Let's see what the boys are doing. So CBK started Christian, Devon, Tyreek Hill. Oh, the double up on Miami there, and going with Tyreek, Alvin Kamara, and Zay Flowers. Dave has got the super high T start, which in this format is completely fine. Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Terry McLaurin, and Chuba Hubbard. Okay. All late-ish. I know JT is 11, Chuba Hubbard's 14, so good bye weeks there. Nice start, Dave. Got Terry McLaurin in there too for week 12. That's nice. Calvin Ridley week 10. I like that. I like it. Let's see. Saquon, Jacobs, Rasheed, Cortland, DJ Moore. That's a pretty good start there for I Like Kitties as well. That's a nice start. I want to say I've seen Bagels before. Maybe I'm just thinking of Eagles. Not the same. Looks the same. It's not the same. It's not James, the Eagle guy. Eagles. Old James, the best ball OG. Try to make the screen a little bit bigger. So you don't have to see my pretty face so much. Appreciate you hanging out if you're in. Appreciate you if you've stopped in, chatted it up in the draft. Much appreciated. Hopefully you threw a like. Hopefully you are already subbed. If not, please do so. This is Extend the Drive, Best Ball Live, episode 18. We are chasing the Eliminator, and we are almost up on the clock. Got Debo here with the whole. Well, never mind. Was thinking about Debo. I think I hate stacking 8 weeks, week 8s here, but I'm not exactly 100% sure about Chris Godwin. So I'm going to go ahead and stack it up. And I've got a lot of week 8s here now, so that's not great, Bob. I probably don't need to take any more week 8s. Yeah, I know, Shakir, but he's week 7. So, I mean, he would be – I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll definitely be looking at him if he's still there on the next pick. And kind of where I was going as well. If he's still there. Nice little running back room here. I mean, I wouldn't mind just biting the bullet and taking one of these running backs too and going that route if Shakir's not here. Because I could always get Ricky Pearsall later on. Like Ricky P. Think he's going to be fine. Not worried about the hamstring too awful much. Jaden Reed goes, so I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I've got two good running backs. I need to continue to build out wide receivers. So we still land Shakir, AQ. Still get him. We'll take that. We will take that. 29% Ricky. Yeah, I had between him and Jennings, they were like, I think in my top 7 pre-draft exposures for wide receivers. Yeah, I made it. Whoops. That one's way too much. I like this one a little bit better. I made it a point in pre-draft to get one or the other or both in every draft that I could between him and Juwan Jennings, which I've got a lot of Kittle too, but absolutely with the 49ers having the easiest schedule of the year, they paid Brock. They brought Kittle back, paid him. You know, Juwan Jennings really rose up to be what he was at the end of last year. So did Ricky. Ricky was very good down the stretch. Demarcus Robinson, for whatever it may be worth, he might be suspended to start the year. Might be serving a 3-game suspension. So, you know, CMC can only do so much, too much, and so much. So I was like, I want to have some of this passing game. We all know Shanahan likes to run the ball, but they got really pass heavy there, which I get it. You know, they were having to deal with Jordan Mason, Isaac Guerrero with CMC hurt. So, but regardless, I think Brock is a good quarterback. He can find his receivers. So I made it an initiative to get as much of them as I could. And I did. And I was not mad about it. I was not mad at all. Got a 1-2-3-1. Jalen Hurts, Bijan, Chase Brown, J-Mo, Kobe Myers, Shakir, and Trey McBride. CBK sitting at a 4-3, huh? You even tacked on Aaron Jones. That's fine. CMC, Devon, AK, Aaron Jones, Tyreek, Zay Flowers, Jerry Judy, my boy Jerry Judy. Judy hopefully is going to win me a lot of money this year because he is my highest owned wide receiver in pre-draft. I think 24, 23, 22, something like that. I had between 22 and 24% Jerry Judy. Think that he was he's been kind of underpriced, undervalued all drafting season. I still think he's not really getting a lot of the respect, and he's not moving up a ton considering they don't know who the quarterback's going to be, which I totally get. I will continue to scoot as much as I can. Coming back up here. Yeah, I'm not going Ayuk in this format. I think he's probably not going to help you much. I like Najee. I think Najee is is a solid pick in this format. I think Najee really helps you in the early weeks. I think, if anything, he doesn't lose his job to Omarion until week 8 to 10. And, obviously by that time, hopefully he won't have lost his job, but for this team's sake, and then hopefully he's still kicking. But I think he's a good complementary there to get in with Bijan and Chase Brown. Gonna pull up Shaheed here because I know. Well, Dave's already went. Now Dave will take Shaheed if I don't. So going to take Shaheed here. So Dave does not, because I know he would, and you can't tell me any otherwise, Dave. Plus, I need wide receivers. And he has a week 11 bye. Helps me out quite a bit with my early buys. At least gives me somebody. I know your move. I know your antics, Dave. I've drafted with you enough. I know your next move. CBK's too. Luckily, his are all early moves, like Tyreek, CMC. Those I don't really have to worry about too much. Let's see, 14 picks. Let's see what you guys have tacked on. Otherwise, I know Calvin Ridley, I'd said for Dave, Juwan, Brian Robinson, Josh Downs. Solid team, Dave. CBK, AK, Zay Flowers. Yeah, I mentioned that. Goes double tap on the quarterback, Justin Fields, Brock Purdy. Dave, you could possibly be hitting a quarterback wall there. There's still Goff, Prescott, May. It's getting right there to where I think this is where me and Steve got last night, and we were able to get May, and we were pretty happy with that. We did end up going 3 quarterback. I really like our build from last night as well. Let's see. I mean, we got Jalen Hurts to start, so obviously week 9, expecting him to carry most of the load, obviously, for the first 8 weeks. So technically not too awful worried about that with a quarterback. If I was still sitting like Dave without a quarterback right now, I'd probably be a little worried. But I know Dave's got a plan. He's always got a plan. He's probably going to pull up Drake May right here. Oh, Herbert. Okay. Herbert instead. Okay. Mark Andrews, Keon, Bagels going with the 3-tap. Jonnu Smith. What are you doing, CBK? You need a wide receiver probably, essentially, or a tight end. I would assume. Christian Kirk. I'm going to pull up Drake May. Going to pull up Drake May. Really like him as a quarterback 2 there. Gives me also a nice little rushing floor. He could have some decent games, especially if Jalen doesn't, if Saquon Barkley has a couple of really good games early on, Drake May could possibly carry a couple weeks. I don't really need any more week 8s. I like Marvin Mims here. I really like him, and I like his bye week. I think he's got huge upside. I've already got, early weeks kind of taken care of. Marvin gives me a couple spike weeks in those early weeks to help me out. Gets me around those bye weeks. I needed a wide receiver, so I don't mind. Obviously, I liked Bateman, but I already had a 7. Didn't really want to take a 7. Like Trey Harris too, but it's the Chargers, man. I'm kind of betting on their run game as is. They're a run-heavy team. Marvin Mims can take it to the house on any play. So I think he continues to have that role. And, I like Marvin Mims quite a bit this year. So don't mind taking him as my wide receiver 5 here. 14 picks away, we go to the board, see what the boys are doing. Herbert has David picked. Who'd you get, CBK? Oh, CBK went 3rd quarterback with Jared Goff. Okay. Okay. Where you going, Dave? CJ Stroud, the one-armed man. I see it. I see that. All the quarterbacks are going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quarterbacks pretty much the last 2 rounds. Everybody piling on those quarterbacks here in this quarterback run from round 10 to 12. Let's see here. Run it down real quick. I got 2, 3, 5, 1. Jalen Hurts, Drake May, Bijan Robinson, Chase Brown, Najee Harris. Wide receivers are J-Mo, Jacoby Myers, Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, Marvin Mims. Got a couple boomer bust plays in there, which I'm totally fine with. I like Shaheed as an every down player anyway. Marvin Mims, I think, can obviously give me good, nice, huge spikes and could give me those 20, 25-point games that I really need to push me along. Trey McBride, elite tight end, coming up on the clock. Chaz CBK goes Adam Thielen. I'll take Rashad. I like Rashad White. Should have an early roll. Don't love the 2 rookie wide receivers who couldn't pass on Harris there. Yeah, I know. I was going to take Harris, but, man, I don't know. This format scares me just a little, especially if he comes out, starts slow, doesn't really do much. Yeah, wide receiver dead zone is here. That's why I wanted to kind of, I've got 5. I probably could have used another one. We are definitely in the zone. I could pick up another running back here. I like Eckler. I mean, I really like Tank kind of in the spot. Could go Jake Ferguson and be done at tight end. I mean, I could go Goddard, considering I've got – I could go Goddard. Let's do Goddard instead. Be done at tight end. Don't mind that. Dallas Goedert and Trey McBride. Both should be very nice weekly plays. Obviously, Goddard, a little hit and miss at times. But Trey McBride, obviously, is who I'm expecting to carry the load. So, pairs me up with Jalen Hurts as well on a little mini there, which I don't mind. 2, 4, 5, 2. Let's see what Isaiah Likely for CBK. After going Thielen, Grandpa Thielen there. A little over an hour into the stream. Appreciate you if you've hung out, chatted it up in the draft. Appreciate you guys. Another little impromptu stream here. Again, I just was kind of bored. Kiddos were at the grandparents'. Wife is at work, and I got off work, and I was like, you know what? Let's stream. Why not? Had a couple of lights ready and handy, and was like, hey, knew I was going to draft already, so why not just kick the stream on? Stream, chat with the boys, draft with the boys. It's been fun. It's a good time. It's Friday. We are entering round 14. Dave went tank. Yeah, I was going to take tank there, but I really just felt like I needed to go ahead and grab my tight end and be done with it. I really only need probably one more running back as it is, so I felt like I can easily grab one later. Pretty solidified. I really have been going 5 running backs a lot in these eliminators. Mostly because I'm taking, early running backs, which is kind of a lot of that single or that hero running back, or double anchor is a lot that I take in regular best ball anyway. So it's really not just a ton different than the way I regularly draft, but obviously you have to worry a little bit more about bye weeks in this one. Dave says I've done 5 running back. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's really easy to do when you start off with 3 really solid running backs. I feel like it's just really easy to stick at 5. Rico goes, Cedric Tillman. I'm almost on the clock. Let's see. I could do Wandell. Week 14 works out well. I need a wide receiver. Wandell easily going to be on the field. PPR God. Yeah, I don't mind Wandell there. He can possibly provide a small floor there. AQ says if you get 3 running backs in the top 100, very comfortable going 5. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the general census is like if you get 3 of those running backs within the first 5, 6, 7, 5, I guess 5 rounds, 6 rounds, I see no reason at all to push 6 or 7 running backs. Because A, you're already essentially wanting to get 3 quarterbacks for the most part, and B, a lot of people like to go 3 tight ends. I'm not really just huge on wanting to go 3 tight ends. I think I'm going to take Braylon Allen here, though, because I do need another running back, and he is one that fits this. I think he's the direct backup for Brees, and also I think that he's going to get on the field as early as week 1. I think that Aaron Glenn's not lying when he said that he does essentially want to use all of his backs. I know Steve talked about it on yesterday's show because we took Braylon, and he made a really good point. The simple fact that maybe Aaron Glenn brings over that Detroit mentality of wanting to use a 2-back system where Brees could be the early down guy, a Gibbs guy, and then Braylon could essentially be like a Monty role, which we can definitely see that. Yeah, contingent value running backs also not ideal in this format. So adding a 6 or 7, exactly, Dave. That's a good point. It's like, why get those guys like a Blake Corum or even a Jarquez Hunter like that need an injury, have to have an injury really to get on the field for the most part. Yeah, I just don't understand really taking those types of guys. I'd much rather take upside receivers that have a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 chance. Michael Wilson is an interesting one that never seems to go in this format. If he does, he's like one of the last picks. But he's an interesting one. Like Darius Slayton is another one. Not some like Calvin Austin is another one that typically goes really late that seemingly right now should have a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 role. And so, yeah, much rather take shots on guys like that than take those 6 or 7 running backs. I really don't want to stop at 2 quarterback, but I really think I am here because I don't really think that there's going to be a lot of weeks where these 2 guys don't top out. And if I happen to get beat at quarterback, then I just get beat at quarterback, I feel like. I like JT Sanders as a late flyer tight end. Talked about that a few times on the stream. We're at 15. We got 3 picks left. Essentially locked up my running back room. Keenan Allen's still sitting here. I like Jalen Noel a little bit, even though his bye week is. But honestly, I feel like if anything, these guys are going to carry the team anyways. So I don't mind taking Jalen Noel here and hoping that he somehow gets into and starts to build up into that Tank Dell role like we think he might be, even though Christian Kirk's there. And Christian's probably going to be playing a lot of the slot. But I feel like Noel by the time, Christian Kirk's an older vet. And I think there could be chances where Jalen Noel gets on the field as well in the slot. So I'll take that chance. I think I might have to take a third tight end in this one because I'm not going another quarterback. And I don't really care to go with another running back at the moment. And I've got Zach Ertz just kind of sitting here right in front of me. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 3 tight end. Don't love it, but I think it fits, especially because I already know that I'm stopping at 2 quarterbacks. I've already said that. I think I'm completely fine stopping at 5 running backs. I'm going to tack on a couple more wide receivers and, well, 1 more wide receiver, that is, because we are heading into the end of round 17 and into round 18 here. Let's see what we got. I saw Lockley, Quentin Johnston, Fryermuth. Is that you only went 2 tight end, CBK? You only went 2 tight end? Jalen McMillan, Miles Sanders, Dave, Aaron Rodgers. Oh boy. Aaron Rodgers. Herbert, Stroud. I can see why you needed that 3rd one. Tank, I saw Palmer, Strange. Yep. Michael Wilson went here. See that. Here comes the tight end run. I was going to go Juwan Johnson. And then I was like, man, Zach Ertz sitting right here in front of me. Come on, man. Especially now with the Terry McLaurin drama going on. I don't think Terry McLaurin's going anywhere. I think they probably work it out, obviously. But, man, if for whatever some reason he gets traded, not only does Debo become a screaming value, but Zach Ertz is going to be a very nice value. Kind of mess up the 8th wide receiver. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Fields, Brock, Goff. Now I think you need the 3rd tight end. Four picks away. Probably going to go wide receiver here. I've kind of already made up my mind on that. I don't really. Already got Shaheed. I think I'm going to tack on restrict. What's Tennessee's bye? Are they 8? What's Tennessee? They're 10. Okay. Yeah, I like Restrepo as a late flyer here, especially because I think I think all of those NWI. Yeah, I do like him as well. But man, I saw a report today from 32 beat writers out of OTAs for Miami, and basically they were dogging NWI, like saying he was the big pickup of the offseason, was supposed to come in and kind of be that other guy to help out in the 3 wide receiver sets. And they said that he is not doing anything. Like they said he has not done much. They said it was actually Malik Washington who's actually been making really good plays. Dave, have you not seen the reports, man? Cam Ward and Restrepo, they've got the connection already from college. That he literally made the staff bring on Restrepo. I don't know why you guys are fighting this so much. Restrepo is going to be a thing, and y'all just need to come around to it. I got to tell you, I'll be the only one to get him, and I'll be more than fine with it because it's going to be a thing. There's got to be a wide receiver too there. I know they got Ayamanuel. I know they got Deaky. I'm fine with that. Restrepo has been the guy that Cam Ward wanted. So I'm going to take my shots on that. And I'm going to hope that nobody drafts him. And I hope that he does win the job. And I hope that he becomes a wide receiver too. Right beside Calvin Ridley. Sorry, Tyler Lockett. Old man Lockett. But, I do think Tyler Lockett's probably the better pick as far as like if you really need a wide receiver in this format, because I do think that he probably starts off as the wide receiver 2, the vet there. But I think Restrepo can possibly easily have a chance to work in. This was the first one that I did. I'm just going to label it real quick. Episode 18. Extend the drive. BBL. What's it? 4, 5, 7, 2. Save it. Well, actually, I want to put number 1 because that was the first one I did. Going to this was a 2583. 18, 2. In the drive. That's all up. This was a 2583. Okay. Quickly, let's see here. What's up, Hartman? Good to see you, man. I stopped in your stream earlier, chatted with you for a tick. Good stream, man. D says, I get the logic. It makes sense for BBM. Well, I know, but I get it. And I get it. You don't really want to take flyers in this one, but my thinking is what if he wins the job in camp? What if Tyler Lockett becomes nothing right out of the gate? And, and AQ says, what if my 14% in IW is cooked? I'm not saying he's cooked. I mean, I probably don't have that much. I probably don't have that. I don't even probably have half of that much exposure to NWI, but if he's not showing anything in OTAs, that's definitely not good. So the first one we did was a 4-5-7-2, Caleb Williams, Geno Smith. I did go 4 quarterback here. AR, Jackson Dart. Running backs, I finished with 5. Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, Jerome Ford. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill for CBK. Had to get you one. Juwan Jennings, Travis Hunter, Darnell Mooney, Jack Besh, Keenan Allen, David Njoku, and Tyler Warren. That was the first elim we did on the stream. This one we just finished, 2583, Hurts, Drake May, Bijan, Chase Brown, Najee Harris, Rashad White, Braylon Allen, J-Mo, Jacoby Myers, Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, Marvin Mims, Wandell, Jalen Knoll, Xavier Restrepo, and 3 tight ends, McBride, Goddard, and Zach Ertz. I think I like this one just a little bit better than this one. But, I mean, they're both just darts, both just darts. Especially at wide receiver flyers, makes sense. Titan, yeah, it's very ambiguous. And, I think Dave's point was just that this is Eliminator. You don't really want to take those shots. But, again, he was my wide receiver 8. Like, is it really that big of a shot? I guess. I guess you do really want to have all your guys playing as early as week 1. But that's kind of also my point. Like, what if he does win the job? What if he's the wide receiver 3 going into the year and, Tyler and Lockett just doesn't, he's just not good anymore. Was kind of quickly phased out in Seattle. They were more than fine letting him go. He went to the retirement home for wide receivers in Tennessee. And, I mean, I get it. They did draft 2 other rookies ahead, and, Restrepo wasn't even drafted. So, but Cam Ward specifically asked for him on the team. So I will hang my hat on that one. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I've been on the stream now for an hour 20. I think my voice is already going out. I appreciate all you guys stopping in, chatting with me, drafting with me. Thanks. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Cheers. Have a safe weekend. A little bit of a note. I probably won't be streaming again until next Friday or Saturday. Got a work trip next week. Be gone probably from Monday till Friday morning-ish. Happy Friday. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate you stopping in, man. Hartman, appreciate you stopping in. AQ, appreciate you stopping in. DC, Dave, CBK, all you guys. Appreciate you guys stopping in, drafting with me. Hope you guys have a good weekend, man. But anyway, till next time, like I said, it'll probably be next Friday-ish before I stream again. But we'll be looking to get guests back on the following week. Obviously, might try to do a solo or try to get a guest on over the weekend, next weekend. So you guys have a great weekend. Until next time.